Hey guys, David here. Welcome to Digital Outlook. In today's video, we've got some information on ISO20022 that you're going to want to know about. But before we do, if you'd hit that like and subscribe and tell your friends and family so we can get this information out to as many people as possible, that would be fantastic. So, without further ado, why don't we get to it? So guys, it's actually a bit windy out here today, so hopefully we can keep the audio sounding good throughout the video. We're going to do the very best we can. Well guys, I'd like to start out with a little bit of a market overview for just a minute or two here before we actually get into the main topic on the ISO 20022 messaging standard and the news that's just come out, because it's actually going to play into that part of it. So today, if you were watching the markets at all, you were seeing some of the most chaotic action that we have seen in a long, long time. The bond market, the 10-year yield, we literally saw a bloodbath in the bond market. 10-year yield went up as high as 3.83. That is a major amount, guys. And on top of that, in the DXY, the dollar index, it went as high as what? $14.05 or north of that. Guys, in fact, with the dollar, by the way, just to throw this in, I actually think we're going to see a dollar that could potentially get as high as $1.21, $1.21. And then what we saw is in the markets, we saw the Dow Jones close at minus 300 and some. I mean, guys, that is absolutely crazy. And the reason that's so crazy is when you see a 10-year yield as high as what we just saw and a dollar going up as high as what it just did, you would think that you would not see a negative 300 point close, but it should be like negative 2,300. So that tells me a lot, guys. It tells me, number one, that you either got the Federal Reserve, central bank, going in there and buying the market. Now, they say they don't do that, guys, but the reality is the proof is in the pudding. You are seeing things that should not be happening, and there's all this chaos going on, and it is leading up to some major, major instability. In fact, we have been seeing some chaotic market structure that leads me to believe, guys, we are either going to see one or two scenarios actually play out. The first one can be a liquidity crunch. As that bond yield starts going up and up and up, and there's this major reaction to that, we could see a liquidity crisis like you have not seen. And literally, liquidity could completely lock up in these entire markets, which will be beyond devastating for the markets and would literally cause a catastrophic collapse. And I'm not just talking, just a small pullback. No, I'm talking a depression level collapse. That's exactly what would happen in a scenario like that. Now, the second thing that we could potentially be seeing is this. We could see something like we saw in 2008 when you've got the European Central Bank coming out there saying, hey, we're ready to provide all kinds of liquidity to all these major banks out there. And you've got the Federal Reserve following suit, that they could just come out and rescue this situation and pour all kinds of money, buying up debt like crazy. They have been doing that, and if they continue to do that, then you could literally see the markets rebound in very short order, a quick fashion, and bringing in all this helicopter cash in there. Now, in both of those scenarios, you have all the ingredients you would ever need to flip some major financial switches. I mean, just take a look at this currency crisis that's going on globally. All you have to do is take an industrial power like Great Britain, for example, and take a look at the British pound. I mean, it is suffering some numbers that they have not even seen for decades. There's, in fact, a whole generation of people that haven't seen the British pound in the situation that it's finding itself today. And this is what's going to lead major nation states to flip those switches and turn on their central bank digital currencies. We know for a fact that Ripple has been working in the UK in the building and developing of their central bank digital currency, and it is a lot more developed than a lot of people think, and they are right ready to flip those switches when the time comes. And what you're seeing right now is an absolute collapse of the current financial system, and the instability is like trying to walk on water. Have you ever been out there on those water skis? And if you've never done it, it can be quite a task, and you're just about as wobbly as you could possibly be. And that's where we're at. At any moment, we could fall, and that's what's going on. Now, do you think that they don't know that? Of course they do. These economists, they understand the precarious situation that we're in more than any of us do, and they have been preparing for it. They have been preparing for it, guys, since before 2018 in some cases, and I can actually show you information that would substantiate that. Now, having said that, guys, this is where the ISO20022 standard comes in, because just recently, SWIFT, which, by the way, I think it stands for the Society of Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunications. What a mouthful that is. But needless to say, a system that's been in place since, the 1970s for cross-border payments and messaging standards between banks. Well, guys, they have literally come out and said, get ready for November of 2022. Why? Because we know that with the ISO 20022 messaging standard, a number of nations are coming on board in November of this year. And it is going to be such an influx and a major transaction that it's going to push this whole move to central bank digital currencies ahead way, way faster than what I think a lot of people realize. Now, guys, they have literally laid out their roadmap for all of us to see that by 2025, every nation on earth and every central bank and financial institution is going to be adopted into this 2022 messaging standard, and all financial transactions between nations and within countries are going to be operating on this new system. Now, I had a subscriber come on and leave a comment saying something to the effect of, why are you guys all so happy about the implementation of CBDCs? Don't you realize that when that happens, you're going to lose your anonymity? You're going to actually lose your ability to do this and that, and you could be controlled, and as a result, you could lose your liberty. It's certainly nothing to celebrate. Well, in some respects, the guy is actually not too far off. Look, we will lose our anonymity for sure. Because with the fiat system, guys, you can actually take cash, go buy it, this, that, whatever, kind of barter and trade with your next door neighbor. You want to buy his motorcycle, well, you give him a few $100, $1,000, there you go. Wow. But with central bank digital currencies, that anonymity is gone. Now, having said that, guys, you're going to see social credit systems cropping up around the world, and certainly we're seeing that in totalitarian states like in China and whatnot, where they will literally program their money in such a way to manipulate the behavior of their populations. There's absolutely zero doubt on that. Now, will that happen in democratic and Western countries? Well, let's hope not. But the technology is certainly there, and the potential for it is there. So if in fact a government that wasn't too friendly to its population got in power, it could happen. Now, I don't know if that's exactly what's going to happen right away, but it could eventually go down that road. Now, one thing I will say is this. We all know what our tax departments are like and how intrusive they can become in our personal lives. I think that there's going to be certain information that's automatically going to be transferred to our various tax departments, and we're going to go from self-assessing systems, more than likely, to state-assessing systems. Because a lot of countries like the United States, like Canada, not sure about Great Britain, Australia, but needless to say, are self-assessing. You file your tax return and you report to the government, blah, 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 blah. Well, guys, they're not going to have a necessity for you to do that in a lot of cases, because every dollar you get and every dollar you spend and every dollar you employ, regardless whether it's an investment or whatever under central bank digital currency, is going to be known and tracked. That is an absolute fact. And something else about this entire system is this. It is not only going to be utilized in our financial systems, but with our digital identities, the accessing of our health information, our educational information, what real property ownership that we have, these same systems and networks that are being put in place for our financial transactions are going to be put in place for all the other facets of our lives. And you're literally looking at ecosystems like Algorand, like XLM, like XRP, like Hedera Hashgraph, all these various ISO20022 compliant ecosystems that are putting the infrastructure in place to manage not only this new digital economy, but this new way of living, an entire change in our societal structure of doing things. And for me, guys, the reality is it's kind of a mixture between Mr. Smith on The Matrix and the Borg on Star Trek. It's inevitable and resistance is futile. Kind of like that, because it is going to happen. It's a certainty. It's a fact. Now, having said that, you got to look at the silver lining in this. And there is a silver lining from my point of view. We have the opportunity right now to invest in the infrastructure of this new global system that is literally going to change everything. And guys, so long as we can, it is my personal belief that we should occupy, we should actually utilize what resources we have and take advantages of these opportunities. Because guys, these are generational opportunities and multi-generational opportunities. There are generations that have never seen a level of opportunity like what we're seeing right now with the implementation of the ISO 20022 messaging standard and the entire restructuring of our global infrastructure like what we're seeing now. And you can literally invest in this space, in these digital assets, Algorand, Hedera Hashgraph, Cardano, IOTA, XLM, of course, XDC, XRP, and all of these various assets that will literally transact in such a way that it will change lives generationally. I really sincerely and fully believe that, especially when you consider the massive impact that these things are going to have on this new system, and it's going to happen way sooner than what majority of people think. And the truth is, guys, you go to your next door neighbors. I challenge you, knock on 5 doors. Ask them if they even know what the ISO 20022 messaging standard is. Ask them if they have ever heard of Algorand or Hedera Hashgraph or even Ripple for that matter. Most of them, guys, will not have heard of any of all this, but it is going to change their lives in such ways that they really have no idea, and it's going to happen way sooner than what you think. I want you to think about something, guys. Remember when we were small and we would imagine being able to do what we are doing right now, literally talk to one another over some sort of a video platform or medium? Well, look, it's a reality now, and it happened literally within the last 10, 11 years. We've seen it take place. Don't think that this is not going to happen within the next 3 to 4 years. By 2025, I believe it's all going to be in play, and we are going to see the transition that we have been waiting for. Now, there's going to be some major volatility in the meantime, and it's going to take some strong resolve and some steeled emotions to go through it. But I think for those of you that make it to the other side, it is going to be life-changing and bring about such a generational change for you that it will be phenomenal. So guys, this is a video I have for you today, and I truly hope that you enjoyed it. And like always, look, if I've said something that you disagree with, you drop that down in the comments right there. And if I left something out that you think should be mentioned, you drop that down in there too, and we can have a discussion. So guys, before you go, just take a quick look at this absolutely amazing ravine right close by where I live. It is something else, and what an amazingly relaxing walk to take. It is probably one of my favorite places to record. Well guys, as you know, I'm not a financial advisor, and this isn't financial advice, but if you found value in it, if you'd hit that like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. And don't forget to hit that notification bell down there so that you don't miss out on any of the videos that we're uploading. And if you're one of the thousands of people who have been watching these videos but haven't yet subscribed, would you do the channel a favor and join this community? We would really love to have you on board. So, in the meantime and in between time, stay safe, be blessed, and I'll catch you in the next one.